What's going on, everybody? Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So the stock market yet again is all over the place today, guys. S&P 500 is down 0.2%. Dow Jones is up 0.1%, and the Nasdaq 100 is down about 0.3% with 5 minutes left in the session. And in this video, we're going to be talking more about the stock market, breaking down some technicals, going over a bunch of stocks to buy now. And I also want to talk to you guys about what I've been doing in the stock market and in general where my head is at as a trader and as an investor. So if you all find value, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're so close to 20,000, and make sure to also get yourself 4 free stocks from WeBull down below, which does run out in the next couple of days, I believe on the 14th. So go get your 4 stocks down below. So let's talk. What went on in the markets today? Well, a lot of volatility, right? S&P 500 opened up on a downswing today. We actually opened at about 36.50 under the low from yesterday, or one of the key lows from yesterday at about 36.60. So we gapped down under that point. We went to about 36.45, which is where we held yesterday at the lowest point once the market opened, right? And if you guys recall, 36.45 on the 4-hour chart, you can see it is right around that 50 SMA and that old resistance from a couple of weeks ago. So the fact that we held it this morning and yesterday morning and we bounced off of it, that was a good sign. But if you guys fast forward a little bit, going back to this hourly chart, you can see it. Actually, no, this 5-day, 5-minute chart. You can see, fast forward a little bit, we blew right under that 36.45 level when we tested it again. And we actually hit a low today of 36.33, completing the downtrend, I guess you can say. I mean, the past 3 days we've been in a downtrend, so hitting a lower low today, I guess, completed that part of the downtrend. Now we popped up higher ever since that point, a bit of a V-shaped recovery in the middle of the day today, right, from 36.30. Now we're about to close the day at 36.60, and mind you guys, look at where we're closing today. This is a very tricky close because at this point in time, if we close at 36.60 on the dot, this could technically be the lower high in the downtrend, meaning if we end up falling down on Monday, let's say the futures are down Sunday night, Monday morning, we see large caps falling down, this could end up happening on the S&P. Take a look at what I just drew with my little trend line here. The fact that we didn't break out of 36.60, the lows from yesterday and the previous day, that's not a good sign for the bulls. Technically speaking, the downtrend right now, if the market closed the way it is right now, it's still intact. So for next week, what am I looking for? If 36.60 goes down like we just indicated just now, or do we break out of this little downtrend on the 5-day, 5-minute, right? Do we end up taking out, let's say, 36.70 and ultimately out of 36.80? If so, if that happens, then I'd say, okay, the bulls are back in charge in the short term. We might be going back up into that channel that we were in the previous couple of trading days, and maybe we might go to all-time highs. That's if we end up getting out of this mini downtrend, out of 36.80. So watch out for that. And when it comes down to SPY, which is an ETF that tracks the S&P 500, same thing. You guys notice here on the 5-day, 5-minute, it's still in a downtrend. We're technically at a lower high right now. We're struggling under 366.50, which is a big level of resistance. It was support yesterday and the day before that. So I wouldn't get too excited on the bull side here for SPY until we break 367. Honestly, let's just put it at 367 and even into 368. Once we get out, if we get out of 368, that is when I'd be like, okay, the uptrend is continuing here. We're out of that short-term downtrend, and we could be pushing, I know it's crazy, but we could be pushing for those highs yet again. So watch out for those levels on SPY, S&P 500. When it comes down to the Dow Jones Industrial Average, let's take a look and see what this did today. A lot of the same, right? It hit a lower low in its little 3-day downtrend here at about 29,800, and it's recovered pretty aggressively from that low point. It's up about let's take a look here. Over 200 points from that low, about 0.8% from low to top here in today's session, right? And this is actually slowly breaking out of the downtrend as opposed to the S&P, which hasn't done so quite yet. Because take a look here. Dow Jones actually broke out of the lows, and there goes the market, guys. Dow Jones actually broke out of the lows from yesterday, lows being 29,900, and we actually broke the big resistance, or we're actually right at the big resistance from yesterday at about 30,050. So one thing here is, yes, we're out of the moving averages, but 30,050. So we're not quite out of the downtrend. I mean, we're further along the process as opposed to the S&P here, but I think we'd be fully out of it on the Dow if it breaks 30,050. Again, resistance from today and yesterday, and if it can break out of 30,100. If that happens, we might be going higher on the Dow Jones. The trend would probably reverse. I mean, it's already uptrending. I know there's a lot going on here on my Dow Jones chart, but I think we would end up hitting a high if we broke out of those points. So watch out for those levels. Nasdaq 100 today, guys, is pulling down. Again, 0.2% in the red. And what you guys notice on this 4-hour chart is we're holding the 50 SMA, right? We're holding also that old resistance from about 12,200, 300 from a couple days ago at the end of November. The fact that we're holding both of these levels as support is a good sign, right? And if we go into this 5-day, 5-minute, this one's more similar to the S&P, right? It hasn't really broken out of those lows from yesterday. We're actually still trapped right around those lows at about 12,360 to about 12,370. So I'd be careful of that. I'd be mindful of that. I think if the Nasdaq 100 is able to break, let's say, 12,400 into the mid 12,400s, I think that is where the trend could reverse back up. But if we get rejected at this point, guys, this is very key. A lot of bears could come in and push this thing down. Take a look right here. If we get rejected right here, we could be going lower, maybe to the likelihood of hey, maybe low 12,000s, 12,100, 12,150, 12,200. That is where we could go if we fail to break out of there. So overall, that is the market update. Nothing too crazy. A lot of volatility. I'd love to know what you think down below in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on the markets. Are you buying stocks? Are you selling? Did you do anything today? Or did you do nothing today? Let me know in the comments. And if you guys are enjoying the video, make sure to smash that like button for me. I would really appreciate that. So let's get into what I personally did. I actually closed out my EA position, which honestly, guys, I held that thing for a good amount of time. And originally, it was a long-term swing, right? I got in, I didn't average down, which looking back, I kind of regret that a little bit, but I got in at about 130, wrote it down. Now I wrote it back up, and I ended up just locking in a little bit yesterday, half of the position at 134.60, and then I ended up locking in the rest of it today at 136 because I think overall EA, yeah, it's been having mini pull downs. If you guys take a look here on, let's say, the 5-day, 5-minute, it's been seeing these mini pull downs, and it is holding the uptrend here on the 5-day, 5-minute. But overall, I think it's a little bit overbought on the 4-hour, right? 4-hour RSI is over 70. So I'd actually like to see EA, maybe for a re-entry, closer to that 50 SMA here on the 4-hour chart. So that would have to put it at 128, maybe 127, maybe 129. That could be where I'd consider getting back in. But at this point, I think, yeah, there's more upside, but I think it could also pull down. So I wanted to play it safe, especially since it's Friday. I locked out of the position. I made some decent money there, and I'm happy about it. And that's all I really did today. I'm still holding my other positions like Alibaba, BABA. I'm still in that one at about 269, down a little bit on this one. You guys can see it's forming this little descending triangle, which is a bit worrisome, but we haven't broken out on either direction quite yet. So we have to just wait and see what it does here. Does the descending triangle play out, meaning it goes lower? If so, I might add a little bit to my position. We'll see. Or does it end up not doing the descending triangle? Maybe it breaks out and we go mid 260s or high 260s, honestly. So watch out for Baba. I'm in that one. Workhorse, I'm also still in, which Workhorse did well today, up 3%. We have to talk a little bit about Ride later, and I actually didn't even add Ride to my notes. I almost forgot to talk about it. Good thing I just saw Workhorse now because I would have forgot about Ride. But we saw Workhorse go up 3%. Ride, also known as Lordstown, went up a good amount today. Both of these went up. I mean, Ride went up, which actually influenced Workhorse to go up because Ride actually got a buy rating. We'll talk more about this in a little bit. But I'm in Workhorse. I'm also still in Apple, which ended up going down today a little bit, 0.7%. And SLV, which is my silver hedge type of swing play that I'm looking to hold here for a little bit. So overall, guys, I've been trimming down my positions. I mean, if you watch my videos every day and you listen to the trading update, you should know that, right? I trimmed out of a bunch of positions. You know, I was in NEO, I was in NNMD, I was in NNDM. I always mix up that ticker, guys. I was in EA, right? So I'm out of all of those. I've taken profits, took a little loss, and I'm actually raising up some cash. Not saying that the market's going to crash, but I want to have some cash just in case we do see a little pull down in some of these stocks, and especially in ones that we're going to talk about right now in today's video. So let's get into it. If you guys are enjoying, again, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk. So stock number 1. This one is pretty overbought now, but I couldn't make a video today and not cover it, guys. It's Disney. Ticker symbol DIS, right? If you were already in Disney, kudos to you. You made a lot of money. I am in Disney. I've been in Disney for quite some time at this point. So needless to say, I made some money today as well in my long-term account, right? Not my trading account, my long-term account. I'm in Disney. And they got some good news today. Their guidance got pushed up, which is great. And they actually reported yesterday they have about 87 million total paid subscribers globally across all of their platforms. You know, Disney Plus, of course, Hulu, ESPN Plus, and so forth, right? And they have 100, and actually, no, that was wrong. Completely wrong there, guys. I mixed that up. They have 137 million global paid subscriptions when it comes to all their services. They have 87 million Disney Plus subscriptions, right? Disney Plus subscriptions. So I mixed that up a little bit, but overall, that's great, right? And they actually raised their paid subscription guidance to 300 million to 350 million by 2024. And the subscriber growth, like I said, it topped the previous guidance. So they have currently 137 million paid subscribers, right, across the world globally. And in 4 years from now, less than that, 3 years from now, they're looking to almost triple that to 300 to 350 million, which is great. And investors obviously love that. Traders went crazy. They made a bunch of money today. And they actually also got price target increases by JP Morgan and KeyBank, and I believe both of them have an outperform rating on Disney. So unbelievable, guys. Me personally, again, I'm in it in my long term. I made some money there on paper. I didn't lock in profits or anything, and I wish I was in it in my swing account, but I'm not, right? So let me know if you guys actually got into Disney today, if you're in Disney, and we're back into that channel now. It's crazy. It's been a while, but we're back in that channel that we were in back in the beginning of what? Wow, this is months ago. Back from the beginning of April to the end of June. You guys can see we were in this channel, then we broke out of it, and we started forming this other trend. But now with this pop-up today above 170, we actually hit the resistance of this old channel. So maybe watch for a pull down to 170, maybe 168, 169. I think that could be a decent entry point for a swing here. But overall, I wouldn't chase it. It's overbought, no doubt about it. And we might see a pull down. So the next one here is FedEx, ticker symbol FDX. They actually report earnings here on the 17th of this month. And what we notice is the uptrend is still intact. We hit 305 a couple days ago. That's an all-time high, top of the channel. Now we're pulling down. We're down a good chunk from that high, about 7% down, and we're holding the uptrend on this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So I think this could be a dip buy on FedEx, but we need to see on the 5-day, 5-minute chart a break out of the moving average resistances, right? Because in the past 3 days, yeah, I mean, it hit an all-time high, but it's still in this little downtrend. So we need to see a pop, I'd say, into the 290s, maybe 295. That could be a point to get in my humble opinion. And then from there, maybe a move up to, let's say, 305. So watch out for FedEx. I think there's a lot of potential there. Again, earnings are coming up in a couple of days. And if you guys recall, FedEx has been crushing earnings left and right the past couple of reports. So maybe they do it again. And I think the following quarter, after holiday season, wow, they're going to do even better, in my honest opinion, earnings-wise, right? And another one here is Palantir, PLTR, right? Palantir hit about $31 pre-market a couple days ago, if you guys remember, and ever since then, it's fallen off. It sold off a bit after that government contract that it secured from the FDA, I believe it was, and it's been selling off. But overall, on the 4-hour chart, you notice it's in this wedge, right? We're making higher lows, but at the same time, we're making lower highs, and with today's action, we ended up going up 0.6%. We're holding that support of the wedge, and we might be pushing out of it. That's kind of what I'm looking for. I think Palantir, although it hasn't confirmed the breakout quite yet, I think we could be testing for that breakout next week, maybe into the $30 level, maybe not high 30s, maybe into the mid 30s, right? That's where it could end up going. So watch out for the breakout on Palantir. Chart is still pretty bullish. We just have to wait and be patient with it, right? And another one here is Virgin Galactic, guys. This one was supposed to have a test flight couple days ago, or wow, it's almost been like 2 weeks ago. Actually, yeah, about 2 weeks ago. It was originally supposed to be on the 23rd of November to the 27th of November, something like that. They had a couple days window, and they had a big CV problem there. They pushed it back to today, the 11th of December, and it didn't happen today, guys. They actually pushed it back now to tomorrow, and this is quote-unquote here, "We will fly no earlier than Saturday," informed the company, so that means not today, and it may extend it into the next week if necessary. So you guys have to realize, I mean, you can't just go to the outskirts of space on any given day. I mean, the weather's got to be pristine. It's got to be perfect. I mean, I don't know exactly the weather conditions, but I know for a fact it's got to be perfect. It can't be thunderstorming outside. It can't be snowing, or, it's got to be a nice, clear day, no wind. That's kind of what I'm guessing, right? And I'm sure there's more to it. But today wasn't the day, right? And the stock ended up going down. I mean, this morning it popped from 32 to 34.60. That's a good move there. If you guys caught that, let me know in the comments. That's a move of about 8%. And it pulled down from there, and it closed right around 32. So it closed at a higher low from pre-market and from yesterday. So technically the uptrend is still there, but we're also downtrending. So this is also in a wedge, kind of similar to what we just saw with Palantir, right? So we have to see what it does. I think Virgin Galactic does have potential, especially if the flight occurs next week and it's successful. I think we could end up squeezing into the high 32s, mid 33s, maybe out into the 34s. So watch out for that. Microsoft is another one here, guys, which is also in this wedge on the 4-hour chart. And now that I'm seeing this 5-day, 5-minute, we're seeing a massive sell candle here after market hours. It's down about $2, so it's down over 1% after market. I'm not too sure why that's happening, but overall in the 4-hour, it's still worth watching as it's approaching the support here of this wedge, right? If we end up holding, let's say, 210, we might see a move back up to 215, maybe 218. And me personally, guys, I have an alert at 218. It's been there for the past couple of videos. You've seen it. And I'm not looking to really get out into Microsoft until it gets out of 215 to 220, right? Just to play it safe on the confirmation of that breakout. And another one here, guys, good old GBTC. You've seen Bitcoin. Have you seen Bitcoin lately? Well, if you haven't, you've missed a big show, because Bitcoin's gone from $3,000 back in March, and it just cracked did it hit 20K? Or was it like 19,500 or something? It hit a high recently, guys. Let's just put it that way. And it's pulled down. Now it's at about 17.9, maybe 17.8, 18,000 when I'm filming this video. And GBTC is the Bitcoin trust. This actually holds a ton of Bitcoin within the trust, and it tracks Bitcoin, right? And as Bitcoin's been pulling down from near 20K to about 18, this is pulled down as well from $24 to about $20. So if you're long Bitcoin, if you're bullish Bitcoin, which I am personally, you guys, if you've seen my Bitcoin videos, you know that I was in it back in 2017. I made some money a couple years ago on Bitcoin. And then the funny story is, side tangent here, I actually had some money in Litecoin, and I lost like 80% of my money in Litecoin after the crash, but I managed to make a lot of money, good amount of money on Bitcoin itself. I was riding it from 5,000 to 12,000 to 17,000. I sold out, and then I actually just recently bought back in May, 8 months ago, or 6-7 months ago, back in May when it was about 9,200. I bought some at 8,900, bought some at 9,000, and it's been doing well for me, and I've been dollar cost averaging a little bit ever since then, and I'm pretty bullish overall on Bitcoin, guys, honestly, and I think this pullback can serve as a pretty nice buy point, and me personally, I'd even like to see it to $15. I know that's probably a little crazy. Bitcoin would have to drop another good amount. I mean, probably from 17,000 where it is now, 18,000, probably to like 14, 15,000 for the trust to get down to about $15. But I would view that as a win-win because I'd probably buy some GBTC down here at this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, and I'd buy some Bitcoin if it were to get to 15,000 somehow. So either way, again, it's a win-win. I'm bullish Bitcoin, I'm bullish GBTC, and the other one here is RIDE, right? We mentioned it earlier. RIDE ended up going up 7% today. We held above $19 support. That's very good news. And overall, the downtrend is still intact on the hourly chart, which is something worth noting. We haven't broken out quite yet just because we got some good news today, but we're on our way, right? I think we're on our way. Ultimately, I think RIDE is a good buy right now out of all the EVs out there. I like a lot of them, but I think RIDE is one that hasn't really done as well as the others, and that's just my opinion. I think there is some upside here. I mean, you guys can see it's still relatively close to that price that it came up at, which was at about $10, right? It went from 10 to 30. Now it's down to about 19. Yeah, it's still up 100%. That's a lot. But compared to some other EVs, that's nothing, right? So I think RIDE has potential. It got an upgrade from what? Goldman Sachs, was it? Yeah, Goldman Sachs put a buy on it and a $31 price target, which is crazy because that's what we've been talking about on the videos, right? I've showed you guys this chart. I said I think if it holds 19, gets into 20, it can get its way back up to 28, $30. I mean, I've said that before. So I guess, hey, maybe Goldman Sachs, they're watching my videos. No, they're not watching my videos, guys. That's a joke. But anyway, Boeing, that's another one here that I'm looking at. Boeing is actually getting rejected at 245, which we've mentioned before. But we're about to go down here and test this 50 SMA. We're on it right now, which is held in the past couple of weeks. So the only reason why I'm watching Boeing is for maybe the chance that it squeezes out of 235, right? Maybe it holds 230, 235. It squeezes out of 240. That could be a breakout spot on Boeing, maybe, right? It's been going up a lot recently, but I think if 245 can break, there could be some more upside here. So I think it's worth watching Boeing. SBE is another one here, guys, which is tuning up nicely. We talked about it in the chat today. It's down about 9% and went down 9%. But I think overall, a hold above this 50 SMA is a good sign. You guys can see it here. The uptrend is still holding, although we are seeing resistance at 44. We're actually uptrending into that resistance. So I think we're going to squeeze out of there. Another level I was mentioning in the chat is the resistance from back on the 30th of November, right around 39.50, or more like 38.50, 39. And you guys can see, I mean, that's where we struggled to break out of today, especially later in the session. You can see see it here literally at 38.90 exactly. We failed to break out of there. So I think if SBE can break 39 bucks, let's just round up to 39, I think it has upside back up to the mid 40s. So I'm watching that. GME is another one that's been getting hit hard, but as long as it's over $13, right around this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, I think it's worth watching, right? For maybe a bounce back play to about $15, $15.50. But the second it breaks 13, slowly gets down, let's say into the 12s, 11s, I'm probably not going to go long on it. Maybe I'll end up picking up some at about 11, but it would look like a falling knife there in my opinion, and we'd have to wait and see where it consolidates. And another one that I don't really track much, but some of you guys commented, was Splunk. They actually had bad earnings a couple days ago. They had an earnings miss from what I read, and they got crushed. I mean, the stock went down from 205 to 155, lost 25% of its value. And what we notice here on the live news tab is a lot of these companies, these banks, they actually decrease the price target, which is not good, but they still have an outperform rating on the stock. And the price target is still well above where it is now. I mean, a lot of the price targets are about 200 to 205, and it's trading at 155. And notice how we're also right at the support of this downtrending channel, which last time we hit it, we saw a big rally back up to the resistance of the channel. So I think Splunk has potential to see a relief rally, right? Today went up 1.1%. I think there is potential for it to do something like that, as indicated by my arrow, right? But the second if it breaks down, the second it breaks under this channel, it's a no-go because it'll be a falling knife. I don't want to play something like that, and I'm sure you guys don't either. So that's it for this video. We're 25 minutes in. That's all I got to say today. If you guys enjoyed it, found value, make sure to write down these stocks that we just talked about. And on Sunday, I'm actually going to make another video like we always do, and maybe tomorrow on Saturday as well, about more stocks. So let me know your thoughts. Drop a comment. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and also let me know, like I just talked about Splunk, that was somebody that commented that stock. Let me know in the comments if you want me to talk about any specific stocks. Drop a comment, a bunch of ticker symbols. I'll look over them, maybe cover them in Sunday's video, so feel free to do that. Also, get yourself 4 free stocks from WeBull down below. Don't forget to do that. And that's it. I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching as always. Stay safe out there, guys. Peace out. And oh, by the way, go check out my Neo video from earlier. I just remembered that. So yeah, I'll catch you all in the next one in the Neo video.